the last but not least conversation of the day is going to tackle the subject of how we build a powerful brand for our country. The conversation will be led by Ana-Maria Atonoaie, who is the Strategic Partnerships Director at the Foundation Conservation Carpathia. We'll delve into this conversation, and I'll invite Ana-Maria on stage. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for the final panel for today. We'd like to start the session with a short intro video about the flavors of Romania, and then we'll wrap up here on the stage. Yeah?
Land of beach trees, rivers deep, of secrets that we proudly keep. A sacred space where spirits soar and whisper to the evermore. A faith both forged and blessed in stone, of tales unheard of and unknown, down valleys carved by brook and stream, where craftsmen work and poets dream. Some people claim the grass is greener, but never more. Yes, never more than Bucharest. A place of stories that unfold around the fire and music told, of friendship bartered with a smile, of art and love and timeless style, on mountain peaks or hidden paths, to tables laid in glowing hearts, to feasts and fun and local fare, to more adventures yet to share. The sun, the moon, the wind is keener, this miracle that's Bucharest. Oh, the miracle that's Bucharest.
I would also like to invite now on the stage our panelists for tonight, Nicoleta, Christoph, Charlie. Please welcome. I forgot. Yeah. This afternoon, we will explore how entrepreneurship, culture, conservation, and business I'm a little bit excited now. We will try to see how each shape, in a way, how Romania is perceived and seen abroad. I will start with you, Charlie, just to introduce you briefly, and then I have a question for you. I will do this with every speaker, and then we can go into more in-depth questions to understand a little bit why you are here and why, and your contribution to the Romanian brand, if we have one. Charlie, just let me go here. A celebrated travel writer, producer, and presenter, Charlie is the best known for the award-winning documentary series Wild Carpathia, featuring King Charles III and, of course, Flavours of Romania. We all know that, which became Netflix's most watched documentary in Eastern Europe. Your film has been broadcasted in over 110 countries, correct? Seen by millions worldwide and have played a defining role in reshaping Romania's image abroad. Over the past decade, Charlie had landmark campaigns promoting Romania on BBC World News and global media, highlighting the country's natural beauty, traditional communities, and eco-tourist potential. His work has been recognized with the Order of Romania, knighthood, so you're a knight. Hello, sir. And numerous national and international awards for cultural and environmental impact. And the last bit on you, which I think also is quite noble of you, Charlie is a lifetime ambassador for numerous NGOs, including Via Transilvanica, Foundation Conservation Carpathia, we thank you for that, Bookland, the Gentleman's Bike, which is a group dedicated to promoting the dangers of drug abuse in school. Charlie, now the question for you. You are shown Romania to the world through your lens, through the lens of storytelling. How does your storytelling connect to the idea of soft diplomacy, shaping how the world sees Romania?
I think what we have to establish for Romania is a brand, and I always use this metaphor, forgive me for doing it again. A country is like a ciorba, in a way, to use a Romanian phrase, like a soup. Everyone seems to have their share of mountains, wild spaces, rivers, in most cases, a lot of cases, seaside. Romania has all these things, but it also has the greatest biodiversity probably in Europe, the largest surviving mixed forest in Europe. It has incredible cultural diversity because it's been on the coalface between the Occident and the Orient for over 3,000 years. So, you know, you had civilizations going back to the Cucaten people, and after that, quote a politician, you had the Ducks coming from the Trucks, the Dacians from the Thracians, and then the ancient Greeks, and then we had the Romans, of course, and then, of course, the Ottomans, the Hungarians, the Austro-Hungarians, the Saxons. So all these people have come and lived here. So every part of the country is different, has a different cultural legacy, and that's why I use this word soup. And when we're coming up with a brand, we have to work out the ingredients and how much of those ingredients we use. Romania has this cultural diversity, these wild spaces. So when we're promoting it, we're looking at history, we're looking at culture, we're looking at ecotourism, we're looking at nature and adventure tourism. And I think these are the unique selling points that Romania has more than other countries I've traveled to in Europe.
Thank you, Joe. Our second speaker, Nicoleta, if I can pass it to you, is the co-founder of Cărturești. Of course, we all know Cărturești here in Romania, the beloved network of bookstores and cultural spaces that have redefined how Romanians engage with books, ideas, and one another, becoming a true symbol of creativity and community. Nicoleta Iordan is also a cultural entrepreneur with a deep passion for books, business strategy, innovation. As the co-founder of Cărturești, Romania's largest bookstore chain, she has played a pivotal role in shaping one of the country's most beloved influential brands. Her vision and dedication helps position Cărturești among Romania's most valuable brands, earning top recognition in KPMG's customer experience excellence rankings for 3 consecutive years, and securing #1 spot in empathy, which I think is quite amazing. Landmark store search Cărturești Carousel listed in 2020 among the world's top 10 most beautiful bookstores in the world, and Cărturești Verona named Bookstore of the Year at the 2021 London Book Fair Excellence Awards, stand as a testament for her belief that spaces dedicated to books can also be spaces of wonder and belonging. Nicoleta, I would like to ask you now, Cărturești has become a cultural landmark and a symbol of modern Romanian creativity. From your perspective, how can culture and creative entrepreneurship influence how our country is perceived abroad?
I would say that if we succeeded in this sector, which is like the cultural sector, like the Cinderella of all the business sectors in Romania, if we could change the perspective Romanians have about books and Europe has about Romania, I think we can, this is how I resonate with the topic. I think we can do it also at a nation's level, at a nation's branding. I would say that 25 years ago, when we started, books were associated with, I don't know, losers maybe. So I think that what we did during these years, we changed these perspectives. We somehow reinvented the idea of a bookstore. So we did it not with intellectual elitism or snobism. we did it in a way, softly, like some sort of soft diplomacy. We did this spectacular places, these spectacular bookstores that people feel, that people experience the books there, and they were somehow attracted to these places. So we somehow put the book in a better place. So this is how I think we could also do with our nation's brand. Not shouting, but silently attracting the people here. And I completely resonate with what Charlie said about Romania and about diversity. And this is another point bookstores are similar to. We are this chorba of everything, of philosophy and also easy literature and poetry and manga and everything. It's there, but it's about books, and it's about experience.
And offering that community and experience place to enjoy that.
Yeah, yes. And for sure, although Romania is on the last place in book consumption, our bookstores are somehow seen as one of the most beautiful in Europe, and this is, like in our industry, we are some sort of a role model for the others in Europe. So, yeah, for
Thank you,
sure
Nicoleta.
we can do it also.
Thank
for
you.
Romania.
Now, I want to applaud, but it's a bit difficult for me. Now I would like to introduce our last guest for tonight, Christoph Promberger, which is the Executive Director of the Foundation Conservation Carpathia. I'm working there too. Leading one of Europe's most ambitious rewilding and conservation projects with the vision of creating the Yellowstone of Romania in Romania's Făgăraș Mountains. Christoph achieved a degree in forestry at the University of Munich, however, was always drawn to protect natural landscape instead of logging them down. In 1993, Christoph initiated a research project about wolves in the Romanian Carpathians, where he intended to spend 3 years. Joke on you, no? Here, only 3 years. However, meeting his Austrian wife, Barbara, who is also the co-founder of the foundation, a fellow biologist and conservationist in Romania, he never left the country anymore and actually spent the next 10 years developing the initial research project into a complex multi-layer conservation project upon wolves, bears, and lynx. In 2003, after finishing the large carnivore project, Christoph and Barbara set up a horse riding business and spent the next year in Transylvania exploring the country. Within the forest restitution in Romania and the following clear cut starting in 2005 all over the mountains, they went back into conservation and founded Foundation Conservation Carpathia with the goal to stop illegal cutting and to create the National Park Făgăraș Mountains. Now, Christoph, I would like to ask you, how does the foundation conservation work connects to Romanian global image and reputation? How can protecting the forest and the wildlife become part of this Romanian brand and something that makes people admire or support even more these initiatives?
Yeah, I mean, in this over 30 years that I'm now living in Romania, I've had a lot of discussions about, how Romania should develop. And every so often I hear după modelul german, after the German model, or după modelul austriac, după modelul suedez, după modelul, I don't know, after all kind of models. And I always ask, why don't you develop it after the Romanian model? Well, because there isn't. The thing is that, and I think this is if we talk about branding of the country, the fact that actually 2 foreigners or 2 non-Romanians are sitting up here shows that you have to probably come from outside to understand how incredible and how unique Romania is. I mean, this is, when I came and I planned to stay for 3 years, I never left the country anymore. I just could not imagine to go to another place anywhere in Europe that is more beautiful, that gives me a higher quality of life. And I'm talking about quality of life. And this is and it's totally understandable, people that grow up with something like that, for them this is normal. But for somebody from outside, it's not normal. It's something very, very special, very unique. And so when we started our initiative with Foundation Conservation Carpathia, first it was really trying to save Piatra Craiului National Park, which was endangered of being cut down, the forests. And then we realized that there is so much more out there, that there is all these Făgăraș Mountains, which is the largest uninhabited place in Central Europe. It is something unique. You don't find that anywhere else in Europe anymore. And so we thought like, wow, you know, this is so unique, so incredible. It is something really, you know, what is Yellowstone for North America, which is Serengeti for Africa. This is what is for the European continent. And so by developing this idea of this Făgăraș Mountains National Park, we very quickly got into this idea of a brand for the country, because the Făgăraș Mountains combines really everything that we have discussed now. It is incredible nature, it's beautiful scenery, it's wildlife, it's virgin forests, and it has all these 27 villages, communes around, which are extremely picturesque, beautiful, attractive, and this combination of this old and Ciorba type culture, and next to it this unbelievable nature, is something that is so attractive that Romania could really almost live of it.
Thank you. Charlie, following on what Christoph just shared now, through your documentaries, how have you seen Romania's image evolve abroad, and what story do you feel still needs to be told to strengthen its global identity?
I think that despite all our efforts, there is still quite a large amount of preconception in foreign countries, particularly in the West, about Romania. And we have been trying over and over again, working with Ministry of Tourism, working with regional councils, working with private companies, to create campaigns, for example, on the BBC, where we want to explode those preconceptions. Everybody I know that comes from the UK and comes to Romania is blown away by that experience, utterly surprised. However much I tell them, however many links I send them of films we've made, when they actually come here, breathe the air, look at the scenery, interact with the people, it's such a surprise, and they all want to come back. And I think this is a universal for people who come to Romania. It's more than they could ever expect. And we need to be able to convey this to people sitting at home in the UK, in France, in Germany, in Spain, in America, etc. I think it takes time. I think it's very hard because, until we can get them here. At the moment, let's be honest about this, Romania has possibly the lowest intake of tourists almost in Europe. I mean, we're below Bulgaria and we're below Albania. And we shouldn't be. We have so much more to offer, I think. It just confounds me when you see such incredibly different and varied and exciting landscapes compared to, I think, a lot of places, that we don't have people coming here in their millions. And the problem that arises is Romanians, of course, I think, are getting gradually a bit better off. More people are going abroad for their holidays. And we have a gap in the summer where we're not having enough foreigners coming here. That needs to be changed because the tourist industry suffers as a result of that. And of course, people are making a bit more money. They want to go to the Mediterranean. They want to do that. That's fine. They should be, congratulations. But we're not making up that shortfall by bringing enough tourists from Western Europe, from America and beyond to come here to Romania and fall in love with this country, because everybody who comes will do that. I'm sure of this. So I think we need to reach out. I think we need more money spent on marketing. I think we need bigger campaigns. And I think we need to try to find ways, both soft diplomacy ways, creating viral campaigns that people just want to spread. I think we need to engage with the diaspora, who are all very passionate, and some of them feel very guilty that they're not back here. And so they want to do whatever they can to make up for that by promoting their country. In fact, it's ironic that they left and are now the biggest ambassadors for Romania while living abroad. And you send them links about the country and they share it with all their friends. So I think with ECR, the Cultural Institute, and everybody everybody else. We should all build towards creating a wave of support from all the Romanians living abroad, and somehow mobilize them to promote their country and to get everyone in their surroundings, whatever country they live in, to actually come here and explore Romania.
Thank you. I lived abroad for 15 years, and I have to say that I have always been one of the Romanians that really believed in Romania, and I promoted it. But I think we also need that Romanians to start loving our countries a little bit more, because it's quite sad. You said, the two of you are foreigners. I don't think you are foreigners anymore, living in this country for so many years. Sometimes it's sad that when I talk with Romanians from different countries, they say, oh, I will never go back to Romania because of that. But now when I came back and I discovered the beauties of our nature, people, local communities, so many foreigners coming and developing their own business here, it's just quite impressive. And I think we need to improve on that one. Nicoleta, I would like to ask you a question here. What can cultural entrepreneurs teach us about maybe authenticity and trust more in these national brands that we are kind of lacking, I think?
I'd say that Romania needs more commitment and consistency about its branding. As you said, yeah, Romania is still in search of its own identity, but this is a trap, because multiculturalism is a huge advantage for Romania, but Romania is still trying to find its identity somewhere, and sometimes it is denying this multiculturalism. So if we just own this, if we just accept that this is a very important part of it, we see all the advantages that it has. It's the tolerance, the way we gracefully blended all these influences, because we are Latin, but we are Balkan, and we have the Oriental influences, and we always looked at the West, towards West. We always sent our children to study in the Western universities. So we have also this modernity blended in our soul. And you can see this in our amazing architectural styles, in all the beautiful old houses of Bucharest. You see it in our food, you see it in our language, you see it in our way of doing business, all this blend. Yeah? Okay. So if we just can put it together, put all this together and own this, and as you said, just promote it more. I think the beauty, the nature is amazing. Maybe we should also blend a little bit this emotional part of Romania, so that we can have a round brand. And I would not ignore the humor and the self-irony. Because part of those experiences that the foreigners have here is also linked to this irony and humor and everything. But coming back to the entrepreneurs, I don't know, advice, or like an entrepreneur, it's this, it has to be consistent, it has to be committed. It's not easy, it takes time. You said that, yeah? It takes time. You have to be consistent with that and promote it.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we have 5 minutes left in the panel, and I'm going crazy because I didn't tackle even a quarter of the questions. Christoph, a final question for you. Conservation work can sometimes clash with local interests in development or business. And I know very well you and the foundation kind of experienced this firsthand. How do you navigate this tension on the ground? And how does that experience teach us about the kind of message Romania should project through as a national brand?
Yes, and nature and national parks, protected areas that we have in Romania are so far considered more as an obstacle of development rather than as an opportunity. And that is, I would say, a disaster, because it is a tremendous opportunity. I mean, we have been attacked a lot about what we are doing. And if you look at who is actually behind that, who is attacking us, it's always those that have very particular interests in the mountains. And they are not the ones that represent the communities, because the communities, they don't benefit from that. It's individuals that benefit from that. And so I think what the biggest challenge is to prove that a protected area, a national park, can be an engine for local development, for rural development. And we don't have to go very far to prove that. I mean, look at Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park brings $650 million into the local communities. Bavarian Forest National Park, which is the oldest national park in Germany, has made out of a region that has been forgotten, where people were leaving, affluent area. It brings in, the national park brings in more than 100 million euro per year into that region. So if it's done right, then a national park can really be the engine of local development and can bring in all these advantages. Now even more, you know, with the droughts that we have, the water shortage, national park can provide also all these services. It just needs to be promoted much more actively. It needs to, we need to create really a model and an example where the local people see, wow, you know, this is really of advantage to us. It helps us to develop, it saves us somehow, because most of these local communities are at the brink of disappearing. And if we as a society work together there, if the government is brave enough to do that, because there will be opposition, but if there is a brave government to do that, I think we can really showcase that it is possible. And here we can actually replicate these models from other countries. But it's not one country that we replicate, it's just individual projects that we replicate. And Romania can be the leader in ecotourism in Europe. And what Charlie says is sad. You know, we're sort of on one of the last places, but we could be, you know, on the very, very top there, given the value that Romania has. And this is what we are working on. I mean, from our initial activities of saving forests and planting new forests, we are now very much into building a new economy in these local communities. Education, training, giving people really a new perspective.
Thank you, Christoph. One last question, 1.5 minutes left. If you were the Romanian brand ambassador for 30 seconds, I will give you each of you to answer that. What would you say to the world? 30 seconds. I already believe that you are unofficial Romanian ambassadors, but I would like to see your opinion on that.
If I had to, it's a tough one, because there's so much to say, and to do justice to Romania is not something you could do in 30 seconds. But I think the fact that you're visiting so many different countries in one, because if you travel from Dobroja and you go to Bucovina and you go to Maramureș or Banat, Crișana, Oltenia, you see different architectural styles, different traditions, different dress codes, different recipes, different songs, different people, different customs, and different landscapes as well. So there's so much to see, and I think that's the way I'd invite people to come. I'd say come and visit a country that is many, many countries, and have 5 different holidays at the same time. And I finish by saying this, that you know, we have an issue in this country where people, you know, don't recognize the value of the other cultures that are here, whether Hungarian, Romanian, Roma, Lipovan, etc., etc. And yet, from tourists' point of view, coming into this country, it's fascinating. It's a unique selling point. So I think more collaboration between the ethnic minorities in this country is vital, and I think we should actually celebrate the difference, because that will make us all stronger.
Thank you so much. Nicoleta?
I'll focus on creative intelligence, emerge from hardship. I want to focus on this, on the emotional side and the creativity of the Romanian people. And I would say that you'd be surprised to know that many of the Romanian artists, writers, Cărturești, like film directors, Mungiu, they are more famous abroad than in Romania. So Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christoph.
Well, my message to the world is that in Romania there exists a virus, a very special virus. You go there, you get infected, and you always want to come back because it's so unique.
Thank you so much. Dear speakers, I will spend hours with you, actually. We're going to do that over some drinks. We'll end with one more video. And this anniversary year, the Aspen Institute and the National Tour of Historical Education honor the 150th anniversary of the birth of Queen Mary. Via courtesy of Dan Drăgicescu and John Florescu, we'll watch the trailer of the historical documentary Maria, the Heart of Romania. The documentary will be broadcast for the first time on TV October 29th, the exact date of Queen Mary's birth next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, and hope to see you soon in a different panel. We stay here.